Hello everyone, today we are logging Azure Rathalos from Digimon COLOR Monster Hunter, including how to raise it and all of its sprite animations. Let's go! As usual, we start with Monster Hunter Fandom page for its profile. Azure Rathalos here is the English name, but the Japanese name is actually called Rioreusu Ashu. Now Rioreusu is just the Japanese version of Rathalos, but what's interesting here is Ashu. Ashu actually means subspecies, which also can mean variant. So in other words, it's kind of like calling this version of Rathalos variant or Rathalos subspecies, which is a very scientific, very clinical way of naming it. I prefer this actually compared to the English version of the name, because just calling it green or different colors doesn't really clarify anything for me. Whereas like in a previous log, it was called Kishoshu, which means rare species, and here it means subspecies. It gives me an idea of like the subspecies is less rare than the rare species, right? The rare species is rarer, right? In that sense. So whereas calling it Silver Rathalos or Azure Rathalos doesn't really give me an indication of which is a rarer form of the monster. So that's just my preference. I don't know what you think. But yeah. And let's look at its profile. As usual, we go to the in-game description, which gives us quite a good synopsis of the monster that comes from the games. I like to use those which have a lot more interesting details. So Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate here looks interesting. An azure-coloured subspecies of Rathalos, more mobile than their standard cousins. They locate prey from the air and quickly swoop in for the kill. Once these Master Hunters select a target, there is little hope of escape. Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the rest of them just looks like they are either truncated versions of the same description that we've just covered. I don't think they have additional points here to note. So that's it. Yeah, since you're done with his profile, let's look at his evolution conditions. And when we do that, we have to go to humulus.com, a highly recommended website for your evolution condition needs. If you're ever stuck trying to raise a specific Digimon, go to humulus.com, you'll definitely be able to find your answer. So Azure Rathalos here evolves from Rathalos Young. It's an adult stage, with Azure Rathalos Young is like a child rookie stage. This is like an adult champion stage. To get Azure Rathalos, its variant is not standard. It's not like some of the other monsters you've seen in the earlier logs. Train more, you definitely get Azure Rathalos. It doesn't work like that. It goes in peaks and troughs. So if you're Rathalos Young, if you have 0 to 3 care mistakes, you need to make sure that you train 0 to 3 times. But the moment you hit 4, it doesn't work. Once you hit 4, right, you have to go all the way up to 16, right? Because if you train 4 to 15, you actually end up with the normal Rathalos. As you can see here, 0 to 3 care mistakes, 4 to 15 training goes to the normal Rathalos, not Azure. To get Azure again, once you have exceeded 3, and meaning that you have trained 4 times, you got to train all the way to 16 in order for you to get Azure Rathalos. Alright? Now the other way is you make 4 care mistakes. If you accidentally make 4 care mistakes, then you got to train all the way to 24 times. Right? If you have 4 care mistakes and you don't have enough training, you have like 18 times or something, then you're below the minimum of 24, then you won't get Azure Rathalos. So it's kind of strange. Usually it's like too little, you have one evolution path where you train less, and then you have one evolution path where you train more. But this case, the Rathalos line is just weird. There's this pick and trial kind of pattern, which is very strange for me. I'm not used to that. But anyway, that's the evolution condition. So once you know it, I think it's a lot easier. For those who don't know, you're just shooting in the dark. It's just too hard. You will never know, right? Because you don't train, and then you get this. And then you train a little bit, you get something else. And then you train too much, you get back the same species again. It's just very, very strange logic here. I don't know what's the intention behind this. But yeah, very strange for me. Not used to this. Anyway, that's its evolution conditions. Since you're done with its profile and evolution conditions, let's take a look at its sprite. Alright, let's take a look at the Azure Rathalos sprite here. I think it looks amazing. Although it's technically just a recoloration, but the color combination is just so good, and I think it really represents the artwork. Let's take a look at its feeding animation. Is it eating? It doesn't look any different from the standard Rathalos. I think it will be the other evolutions that will look significantly different. Let's see what its attack is like. Nice, normal fireball, just like the standard Rathalos. Not like the blue fireball that we saw in the previous log. That's his happy animation. Let's see the angry animation. Aww. That's his angry animation. Let's do a little bit more. Alright, let's do some battles since he needs to do battles. Oh wait, let's do the animation of him saying no. No, just like the other Rathalos. It actually looks like kind of cool, huh? The blue variant, the Azure variant, compared to the red one. Let's see if it lands. Nice. Let's see how the battle turns out. Nice, we won. It's easy win for Azure Rathalos. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a traded egg out of Silver Rathalos, so my Rathalos Greymon will not be born of a traded egg. So that's unfortunate. I was hoping that it will be. It's a 30% chance. It's too difficult to just try to keep grinding. I could, but it would just be too time consuming, and I don't think the benefits are really that worth it. There's no competitive play here. You're just playing against an NPC, so yeah. Alright, are we gonna lose the first boss fight? Oh, we are! Alright, that's 3 battles done, but 1 loss. That's not great. We need to get 12 more battles to go. Hopefully his win rate stays up. Alright, and let's see, sleeping animation. Boom. Sleeps at 10, I think. There we go, sleeps like any other Rathalos, same position. Just wish they did a little bit more unique animation here if they can. I think Rajang was the only one that had that slight difference in sleeping animation. You can check out the Rajang video, I have it in my playlist. Rajang and Furious Rajang actually had a difference, even though they could have just done the recoloration, but the sleeping animation, because Furious Rajang doesn't have a tail, so you can check out the sleeping animation. You can see that they actually put in the effort to note the difference, and they didn't just reuse the sleeping animation and just do a recoloration, right? So there's careful thought around some of the monsters. In this case, it's just standard. Don't seem any different. Now, that's it for our Azure Rathalos vlog for today. If you like Digimon and virtual pets, subscribe. I document every Digimon that I race, and I have playlists right here, so do check them out if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!